nobody. There is no humans that is excluded from participating in the next phase of human evolution. 50% of Chinese believe in UFOs, and look at the Russians. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to make it to up the space station.
Oh,
and,
especially now.
I don't consider them rivals at all or adversaries. And I'd say this to all the people of the world, that America, we love you all. And regardless of how our leaders may act sometimes, not according to our wishes, this is a land of the home and the free, and it's because of that we're able to give you in return what you're going to see on my Facebook page. And I try to say it as humbly as I can, but this is real. This is the real deal.
Well, we need it, because I'll tell you, I try to stay away from politics, but I will say this. If anything ever happened right now with our leader in our country, I hate to say it, he operates like a 13 or 14-year-old boy would act. I mean, seriously, he shows all the strengths of a young teenager by how he reacts on everything and retaliates on people and everything. And he scares me. And that, I don't know.
Unfortunately, President Trump does sometimes wear his emotions on his sleeve, and that probably has a lot to do with how he was brought up. He was a golden child for his dad, and that shows up sometimes in his attitude, unfortunately. And yet, at the same time, he is our elected president, and I want his decision-making to reflect the decisions of the majority of humans. And I believe it's all for the global. It's not for just our nation, because that leads to anarchy. If we're just looking about for ourselves, that's not going to help our allies and our friends and potential adversaries who are going to be our friends and are in many ways. So I just,
No, I just wish
we'll have to wait and see.
I just wish there would be disclosure. I had Stephen Bassett on my show last week. He thought it was going to come this coming year, but because of the political stuff that's going on, he's kind of pushed it out maybe another year or so before there's disclosure. And I mean, this guy has been fighting for disclosure for many, many years, going up.
Yes, he has.
Going up to Congress and getting them, and they were
done a lot of hard work. I've followed him. Yes.
Yeah, and they were set to release certain information, but again, because of the political stuff that's happening, that had to take. They kind of basically, it's not important enough right now.
It's not the right environment. And let me tell you, it's hard to turn on the news without something else that the president has tweeted. And yet, in this particular case, Gary, this UFO thing, that's been going on for thousands of years before anybody alive, before politics was created. And this is an earthly moment that transcends politics or even religion. They are coming back, and they're coming back a harvest of humans who want to be part of the next phase of human evolution, interplanetary contact and trade. So however you treat your fellow human, they're going to see that and go, oh, that's how you're going to treat us. Now, is it with love and respect or something else? So I try to stick as close as I can to literally the 10 Commandments. That's called being obedient. And for me, it's much easier to be obedient. I mean, they even know your motivations and will help you straighten the path. I wouldn't be here right now if I hadn't been saved from certain deaths on numerous occasions. And I include this in my book. And I think everybody listening is probably can say, yeah, I'm on extended play too. And sure enough, here I am with this gift for everyone.
Again, I tell everybody where they can find your book at and the name of the book again.
The name of the book is Aliens from Above, The Last in Line. Now, if you were to go on my Facebook page, you'll find it by scrolling down, or just Google it. It'll take you to the site, Barnes & Noble or Amazon, and might even be on sale. But it's entertaining, and like I said, the first half of the book is fiction. It's based on this Native American who gets instructed in metaphysics This is actually an avatar of me. Walking is his name, and he becomes friends with the aliens and is projected into the future to help save mankind when they need it the most. And guess what? It's me. But, that's what I wrote, and there it is. And I had a wonderful editor, by the way, Janelle, who helped me put the book together, and I really appreciate her input. She made some verses a little flowery, but the basic message comes through clear, and I'm very pleased that I actually was able to get this book published, including the photos that prove that this Inyaha UFO photo has provided the UFO Rosetta Stone to literally solve the UFO mystery and a few others. So when you see my stuff on Facebook, you will never look at the moon again. Do you know that there's a crater on the backside of the moon? It's over 100 miles wide. That's a projecting acorn shape. I don't think that's natural at all. And there's a lot more stuff. But
well, yeah, especially when you have two older astronauts, a Buzz especially saying that there was an alien base on the backside of the moon. So, I mean, I think, that's one reason why we were probably told not to go back to the moon. We talk about going to Mars. We talk about going to Mars. And I feel like, wow, why would we risk the lives of putting people on Mars or getting them there to Mars, knowing that it's probably going to be a one-way ticket, when we should have really gone on to the moon if we could and sit up and see how long people could handle living, in the lack of atmosphere on the moon. And then, at that point, we could, if it worked out, then we could be talking about going to Mars. But, by passing the moon and going strictly to Mars is crazy. It's the craziest thought I've ever heard of. We should see.
Well, I got to tell you, Gary, I was watching a Nova special on Elon Musk and his SpaceX, and I can't tell you how proud I was when they successfully re-landed those two booster rockets on that platform. And Elon talked about how their goal is to actually set up a base on the moon and from there go to Mars. And you know what? I wish him all the luck. I'm pretty proud of that guy. And that's what we got going right now. And at the same time, I'm thinking, man, aliens are not going to allow us into space until we get our minds set straight. We are not going to be bringing our own tried and old and religious dogma that doesn't work nowadays. And I'm sure every religion has a great amount of truth in it, but which one has it exactly right? Well, guess what's going to happen? We're going to have probably a new religion. And I have to say that in order for me to follow metaphysics, I had to adopt the Native American religion, which is truth and loyalty. And when you find truth, you have to be loyal to it. And I believe I have found a bedrock of truth that forms this PowerPoint presentation you're going to see on my Facebook, which I gave at AlienCon, by the way, where I was interviewed a couple of times. But so this is where we're going, and I'm on the train. I want to get everybody else on this peace train so we can all use our thoughts. And this is how you create things. You think about it coming to pass, and your actual thoughts. This is quantum mechanics. Your actual thoughts help create that reality that happens. When you split a particle, that other particle knows what the other particle is doing. So, and I experienced, by the way, Gary, telepathy on 2 occasions, and I describe it in detail in my book. So there's a lot that we're not being taught that is tragic and a mistake. And that's why we have shootings. I could never imagine hurting another human. But I will kill that cockroach that keeps coming in my kitchen because it's not getting my mental signals to leave.
Oh, yeah.
But when it comes to humans, I'm so glad I'm not serving in the military. And I would say this to anybody who has to serve in the military and maybe even take a life. Have it in your mind that you would be more than willing to give up your gun and take this other route, because those thoughts are recorded. They're listening to. None of us is ever alone. And having my dad channeled proved that.
Yeah, it's just so many things out there, that we don't have answers for. We have a lot of questions, but we don't have answers. And what you're talking about tonight, there's a lot of questions there. And I'll have to be honest with you, there's a lot of questions without answers, and there is some questions with answers. I don't know. I do think that there is an alien species out there that is trying to protect mankind. They have been for a long time. Otherwise, I don't even think we would be here now. But I really feel...
Thank you. That's right.
Yeah, but I do feel strongly there's another group of aliens that maybe look at us no more than, going to Burger King. I hate to say that, too, because you have to realize, we think we're intelligent. We think that we really are compassionate. Well, we're not intelligent compared to a species that evidently is way advanced to us. They, like I was mentioning on my show the other night, you go out and leave your front door, right? You go walk to your car. You are killing tens of thousands of insects between you opening your door and walking to your car and getting in, and then driving your car out of your driveway. You're killing life as you're doing that. Do we think about that? No. And you look at, a species that's so far advanced, they might not look at us any more than we look at when we open that front door and walk to our car. I hate to say it.
Well, you're sort of right, because look at what Zachariah Stitchin uncovered reading the Numerican Chronicles about the Anunnaki, who created supposedly mankind to search for gold for them, because they were hunting for gold, and they created mankind as their slaves. Well, I think we'd still be slaves right now if these emissaries from God, who are fulfilling his mandate to go to all these planets and create inhabited life so that the spirit can find a way to progress and find its way back home. And that's why we have all these stories on the program Ancient Aliens about different Inuit tribes that are suddenly lost and gone, and here they have their fire pits are hot. Where did the whole tribe go? And all these other civilizations that suddenly vanish.
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible
technology
that they might be reintroduced to other inhabited planets to start a stock there? And now that our planet is overpopulated and we're running out of natural space, which apparently is going to really cause some issues because the plants and their leaves aren't sucking up the nitrogen and tuning it into oxygen because we're cutting them all down to make food. But that's why the aliens are coming back. We're sort of beyond that mark, and they don't want us to launch missiles at each other, and I would plead to them. They have showed their power to turn them on and turn them off. And I would say that there are many good humans on this planet who want peace and harmony. And I would ask them to defeat anybody who would want to cause this kind of strife in mankind. We don't need to do this because apparently, according to metaphysics, it's already happened twice in our distant past, which we don't even recall. But, next time, Gary, I want to talk religion, pal. We talk UFOs this time. People who read my book, be prepared. Something's coming. It has to do with...
Well, we need to set you up again. We'll come back on in January. Anyway, our time is up, Mike, and I really enjoyed having you on. Again, tell everybody how they can find you on Facebook again, and name your book again, and then after that, I'm going to say good night to you.
Great. You can Google me. It's Mike Orrell, Orrell, but better to go to Facebook where you can see all the stuff I'm posting, and that's under Michael Orrell, MichaelOrrell. And I went to Helix High School. There's a bunch of other Michael Orrells, but I'm the guy, the UFO guy. And this is quite an event for everyone, and everybody's welcome. That's why I'm posting this for free. And once again, Gary, thank you so much, pal, for giving me this opportunity to fulfill my dharma, which is to spread the word, because that's what I'm doing, and the universe is watching and listening. Believe me. We had a UFO event last Friday. Folks, keep your eyes open, watch what's coming. All right?